What's going on, guys? Today we're going to review the top 10 stunts that I recreated from movies in 2017. So for spot number 10, we have from The Amazing Spider-Man, where Spider-Man gets his mask removed and he's trying to do a lot of acrobatics to hide his face. One of those acrobatics is he does a front flip to dive roll. So basically that's 1 3/4 front flip where he goes into a dive roll. And the reason it's one of my favorite stunts and I gave a spot in the top 10 is because it's one of the most dangerous. The reason it's so dangerous is because you're landing close to your head and you can hurt your neck, so that's the reason it's up here. So for spot number 9, we have Ant-Man, who's in his tiny form and he's hiding on Captain America's shield that Spider-Man's holding. So he goes into his big form by doing a back flash, which is a backflip, by kicking his legs, and then as he does that, he kicks Spider-Man in the face. So the reason I put that one in my top 10 is because I really love the angle that we were able to recreate from the movie, and it actually looked like I was kicking my buddy Jesse in the face with the flip. So for spot number 8, we have the Lizard swinging a locker door at Spider-Man. And to dodge that, Spider-Man uses 2 back handsprings and a backflip. So the reason I like this stunt so much is that I was able to recreate it with my buddy Sheldon swinging something at me, and I was doing 3 different tricks, the 2 back handsprings and the backflip, to dodge it. And it was also really cool to recreate because during the backflip I got so much height that I was able to see Sheldon swinging the block underneath my legs. So for spot number 7, we have the Winter Soldier punching Black Panther in the face. Black Panther uses the momentum of the punch to go into a suicide kip up and then gets back on his feet. The reason it's one of my favorite stunts is that I learned the suicide kip up just for that video. So I was able to learn the trick in like 10 minutes with a bit of practice with maths, and then we were able to shoot it for the video. So for spot number 6, we have Spider-Man running towards the Lizard, and then he jumps off of the Lizard's chest and turns it into a backflip / side flip, and then he turns his momentum as he lands on the ground to face back towards the Lizard. The reason I like this stunt so much is that I had a lot of fun doing it, and I really liked the way it looked like lined up with the other clip. It seemed as the timing was the exact same as Spider-Man in the movie, and I was turning and changing my momentum in the same way that he was. So for spot number 5, we have Captain America doing a corkscrew in Age of Ultron. So the reason I like this stunt so much is that I was not only able to recreate the stunt with a corkscrew, but I also one-upped Captain America by doing a double corkscrew, and I love doing flips with a double twist because they're much harder and you need to keep your body straight, so that's why I had so much fun doing it. So for spot number 4, we have Spider-Man who's on the ferry, and the ferry actually gets split in half. Spider-Man's trying to shoot his webs on both parts of the ferry to keep it from splitting apart and sinking. So in the process of doing that, he jumps from one side of the ferry to the other separated side by doing what we call a front flip to cat. So a front flip to cat is basically when you do a flip and then you land in this position on something. So the reason this is so high up on the list is because of the difficulty of the move. It's one thing to do a flip and land on the ground, but a flip and land on a wall or on something is so much harder because if you overflip, you can hit your face. If you underflip, then you fall flat on your back on the ground.
Yeah.
So for spot number 3, we have a stunt from the Deadpool movie. So Deadpool's doing what we call a 360 dive roll over a car. So basically it's like a normal dive roll, but you add a full twist, which makes it so much harder because you can't see the ground the whole time. The reason this is so high up on the list is because not only is 360 dive roll one of my favorite moves, but I also did it with mini guns that I purchased for that video. So I was able to do the trick over a block with 2 guns in my hand, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and that's why it's number 3. Pew, 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 pew. So for spot number 2, we have Darth Maul doing a butterfly kick in Star Wars with his double-bladed lightsaber. If you guys don't know, Star Wars is actually my favorite franchise of movies, and that's why it's so high up on the list. I also love the way it looked side by side, where the timing was the exact same when my stunt with Darth Maul's stunt, and I also really enjoy doing flips with lightsabers. So because it was a flip with a prop, that's why it got number 2 on the list. For number 1, we have by far the most difficult trick of the full list. Spider-Man's on top of a building and he does a double gainer and then goes into a swing off his web. So a double gainer is already hard enough as it is, but he does his first gainer of the double gainer straight, so in a layout position. The reason it got number 1 on the list is because that's the first time I ever did that trick in my life, and I learned it just for that video. And also, I just love double flips. It's my favorite kind of flips, so I had a lot of fun doing it. Woohoo! So that was my top 10 of the stunts I recreated for movies in 2017. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you want to see my latest video, click here. If you want to see another cool video, make sure you click here. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see other cool videos from me. And as usual, I'll catch you guys on the flip side.